We are back in one of the hottest 55 plus communities in South Florida, if not the hottest. We are back in the community of Riverland of Port St. Lucie, Florida. I needed to make this video because they just opened a brand new collection. It's called Luxury Club Villas. They're actually in the process of building the models right now. It is the hottest thing when it comes to all of Port St. Lucie, Florida. Riverland is our most popular 55 plus community. This video, we're going to look at the single family homes, but not just that. We are going to introduce, so stick around, the newest part of Riverland, their luxury villas. So today here at Riverland, they're selling currently in Valencia Park. I'm actually standing in Valencia Walk, which is there where the models are here. Later we're going to look at those villas. And when all is said and done, there are going to be a total of, bear with me, 1365 in Valencia Park. That's 1,360, did I say that right? Yeah, 1,365 homes. Of that, 179 are going to be their newly introduced villas. Right now, we're about 50% sold. So we're making our way and moving on when it comes to Valencia Park and all of Valencia's here in Riverland. So by adding this new luxury club villas section, that now leaves them with 6 different collections. They have a lot of different models there. They have 25 models when you come to pick from if you're looking to buy a home here at Riverland. We have, there are currently 4 sections. A lot of numbers here. This is a lot to do here. This is the Disneyland of 55 plus in my book. I've called it that before. I'll call it again. I'm going to start with the Bimini. And the reason I'm starting with the Bimini model right now is if you ever decide on their stay and play program, which I'm going to tell you more about that later, that is a program a lot of people take advantage of. If you do take advantage of that program, they will actually they will show you and have you stay in this model, which is the Bimini. Here we are, another glorious day here in South Florida. The Bimini, 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, a den. You can make it a 4th bedroom. It is a 2-car garage. It is a 2-car garage. They're showing it here as a 2-car garage and an additional golf cart garage here, which is right here. Obviously, you can't really do much with this besides a golf cart, but let's go see what it looks like when we enter the Bimini here at Riverland. My name is Ray Fernandez. I'm with Living in Palm Beach, Florida, powered by EXP Luxury Homes. Welcome. So as you can see, when you move in here, when you come here to the Bimini, this is what your master suite will look like. If you go this way, you have this great bathroom. Let's take a quick peek at that. And also, let's go over here. This is your master bath. So as you can see, they have 2 separate closets, his and hers. Of course, the hers is going to be bigger. It's the way it works, guys. And then you have here the room itself, the bedroom itself. So lots of builders are building the bathrooms off the closets off the bathroom. This one's not. I know some people that absolutely despise it and will not buy a house for it for that reason. But in this case, it's not the case. So anyways, you have your own little separate ensuite, own separate master suite here at in the Bimini. They use this model for the stay in place. One of them that they use. A lot of the people I've worked with in the past, they tell me, I'll ask them where they're staying. They tell me the Bimini. One of the things I think people appreciate is that the kitchen faces out to the patio. We see a lot of buyers who actually appreciate that. And as you can see, I'll talk more about the lots later, but as you can see, this particular model is looking out over some of the elaborate amenities. When it comes to amenities, there is no place better than everything they have to offer here at Riverland in Port St. Lucie. 18 years ago, my family and I relocated to this beautiful part of the world we call sunny South Florida, and we haven't looked back. Today, we truly find honor to help people perhaps like you do the exact same thing. If you're thinking about moving to this area and you want to ask questions for people who've actually done it before, well, there's a few ways to get a hold of us. Down below is our email address. That's one great way. Also on the screen, you see our phone number. You can either call or text that number. But literally two of the best ways is in the description in the comments section. There's a link. Click on that link. What that'll do is have some time for us to speak, either through a phone call or through a Zoom, whatever way you feel most comfortable. In any case, we have your back when it comes to relocating here to sunny South Florida. The Bimini is one of the more elaborate models in the Signature collection. We have found of all the different collections that they use here, the Signature is probably the most popular. It's not the biggest. The Crown is the biggest. We'll show you more of them. We'll show you more of those later. But there are a total of 25, get that, 25, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 floor plans. They have 16 models on site, which does not include those new luxury villas. More on that later. The demand, they just started that, the luxury villa. It's not part of the other Valencias. Like every Riverland community is called Valencia something. They start with Valencia K and went to Valencia Grove and so on and so forth. But here, the Valencia Park, which is where they're currently selling, it's the first time they're showing these luxury villas, and we're going to end, but we're going to show you more about that later. But first, I want to show you the stay and play I was talking about. Take a look at this. Now, you can't do this more than once, but if you want to buy in this community and you want to actually live in this community while you're checking it out, that's the way. That's exactly the way to do it. As you can see, it is really affordable, and we get a lot of people who do that. But don't call over there and just say and book it. Let us help you do that. So there's some tricks to the trade when it comes to booking your stay and play. More on that later. Down that way is their sales center. If you walk into their sales center on your own, you are absolutely crazy. We highly recommend independent representation. Let me give you an idea what that's all about. Independent representation means we here at Living in Palm Beach, Florida, helping you help yourself when it comes to looking at new construction homes. The way it works with most builders, and every builder has a little bit of a nuance on this, is that we need to be there on your first visit. So if you're thinking about coming down here and looking to plan your trip, reach out to our team ahead of time. That is by far the best way. But for certain, we should be here on your first visit. Some builders like this one, if we follow up with them the following day, we can do that, but that's not the norm. Let us be here and help you on your first visit. That is the best way to do it. And we'll be there throughout the whole process. That's what we call independent representation. The cost for independent representation to you guys is zero out of your pocket. It is the builder that pays us, and they're happy to do so. You can ask them. There's no discount for not using us or using us. The price is all the same. We're just there to help you. Why do the builders do this? Is because they know that we'll introduce people, perhaps like you, to the beautiful community here at places such as Riverland here in South Florida. So I'm going to stick with their popular Signature collection homes for now. We're going to go through a lot of the models here. There's a lot to choose from. I can't get to all of them. It would be too long of a video. I'll see if I can take a walk over to their newest clubhouse. Each community has a different clubhouse, but I know that often you guys want to know pricing, so I'm going to get to it right now. That Bimini is $577,000. That's the base price of the. That's a base price of the home itself. Does not include the lot, does not include the land. So when you add everything together, when you go to the website, you'll see that price. But you don't think of that as the price you're going to pay. You have to add the lot, you have to add the upgrades. In general, people spend somewhere between 10 to 20% when it comes to upgrades. So more on that later. Reach out to our team if you want to know more about what's involved if you're buying a home here at Riverland in Port St. Lucie. So before I go into the Costa here, which is the next Signature home that we're going to look at, just want to point out over there, I don't know how well you could see it, adjacent to the to model row here for the single family is where they're building currently the models for the luxury club villas. So they're not quite done yet. They're a couple of months away. We were hoping to get in there, get like a permission slip to get through construction, but I guess it's too much of an insurance issue right now, so we weren't able to, but we'll do that. We'll do that future. By the way, our first Riverland video, or one of our last Riverland video, which was a while ago now, was still one of our most popular, that one there, one of our most popularly watched videos. But let me continue with one of the most popular collections, which is the signature collection, and let's go into the Costa. So you can make the Costa here either 2 bedrooms or 3 bedrooms. It's 3 bathrooms. It's 2155 square feet under air, which means living space here in Florida. When we say under air, we mean under air conditioning. You have a side load garage, which I see a lot of people actually appreciate that. But let's go see when we walk in what it looks like here at the Costa. Let's go into pricing. So I also want to mention that they have different elevations. On the single-family homes, they have different elevations. When we look at the villa, there's only one elevation, so it's a little bit different. Here at the Costa, it's $564,000 for the base price of the home. When you look at these models in general, assume that a lot of this stuff is upgrades. Like in general, the flooring, which is one of the most expensive parts of your options and upgrades, those are, in general, they're going to be upgraded flooring. In general, you're going to have an upgraded countertop. And lots of times you have upgraded cabinetry. So here's your pantry. Some people love it, some people not so much, but it's basically not a room. It's right off the kitchen like that. I love the deep color, espresso color cabinetry they use. That's me personally. Also, they have like a bar area. Like, look at this. Not bar area, it's a bench area with the dining rooms. Check this out. One of the benefits to doing to seeing the models like this with all the upgrades is it gives you design ideas. It's one of the things they do. Now, bear in mind, sometimes you actually see something and you say, well, I want to upgrade to those lights that you have hanging in the kitchen. Can I get those? Sometimes you can't. So you got to be careful with that. Just because they show it doesn't mean that's an upgrade that's available. They lots of times get up to buy it in design appointment. They want to give you ideas as to what you can do with this. This is a natural gas community, which is really important to people who like to cook. You have your range here. They use GE appliances here. Nice big island. So people in general, lots of times, especially in smaller homes, in the 55 in general, you get smaller homes. They take more advantage of the island and less advantage of the formal dining. What do you think about that? Are you a traditionalist and you prefer the formal dining room? I'd love to know. I sort of feel like probably more and more people will say, more than half the people will say, to heck with the dining room, I'm fine the way we're going in this direction, but I'd like to know what you think. Leave a comment down below. So as you can see here, one of the upgrades here is the floor to ceiling, what do you call sliders? We find that lots of buyers prefer this because they like light. This is one of the attributes when it comes to buying a new construction home. There's so many benefits to it, but this is one of the features that people like. They like the higher ceilings. In general, 55 plus are going to be smaller homes in general. So you're not going to find like a 5,000 square foot home in a 55 plus community. By the way, there are some pros and cons when it comes to buying in a 55 plus community. Check out that video right there. It's got good viewership on it because 55 plus communities, there's a lot involved. Make sure you know what you're getting yourself into. I hate hearing, and obviously don't do it with us because we're pretty thorough. We're very thorough when it comes to, knowing what to expect. But I hate hearing when someone comes in and they bought a place and they made a mistake because they didn't realize this or that. We help prepare you with that. So if you're looking for independent representation, that's one of the things that we can help you with. There are some things that might drive you crazy when it comes to buying in a 55 plus community. So I find this is more of the traditional way to do a master suite. The other one, the Bimini, I love it. That it's the suite, that it's a side entrance where it's being, you can go one way or the other. This is how most I find master suites do look. You walk right into the bedroom, and then you come down here and you walk right into the closets, and eventually here into the into the bathroom. Here you go. So I want to point this out because this is something that sometimes is a little misleading. I'm in the hers closet here of the Costa, and as you can see, this looks brilliant. It's empty. It's dying to be filled up with good stuff from Nordstrom. But when you buy a new construction home in general, the closets here are not going to look like this. They, generally speaking, are going to be wired closets. Well, wired on the walls, wired racks. And I'll say this is that you can upgrade it, but it is my opinion, it is my advice here, living in Palm Beach, Florida, Ray Fernandez, is you do not want to upgrade it. That's something you could do afterwards. We are good with helping you guys figure out what are some of the things you should do and some of the things you shouldn't do when it comes to options. Because there are not just cost differences, it's also a difference in your taxes. You can literally load your house up and have to pay for it from a tax perspective from years to come. So we have some good advice when it comes to that. But one of the components of that discussion is do not do out your closet like this. It looks beautiful, but you can do it after. So each section of Riverland has their own amenity center. I'm also want to mention the lots. Each section, like as you go larger in the collections, the lots get bigger because it requires more of a footprint for the home. But in general, side to side on the lots, you get somewhere between 10 to 12 feet. That's one of the things I think that's sort of unique. You do not get more, as you move up in collection, you don't necessarily get more space in between, but we're going to talk more about lot prices later. That's always a subject that people want to know about. And it's important because, again, when you look at the base price of the house, it doesn't include the lot. And it's important to know what that is. And we're going to talk more about that later, so stick around. So now we're going to kick it up a notch and we're going to go into the vintage collection, leaving the signature collection. And I want to walk into one of the most popular vintage collection models, which is the Caroline. As you move up in between the different collections, you can almost smell the cost of money going higher. At least I can. I can sort of tell the difference. The houses are a little bit wider. Here in the Caroline, it's one of the more popular in this collection. It is 2,580 square feet under air. Let me take a look at this. Take a look at this. It's a 2-bedroom, can be made a 3-bedroom. As you can see, this one's designed with 3 garages, a side load golf cart garage, your front facing double garage, and it's got a little bit of I was going to say it's not a Mediterranean elevation per se, but it's got a little bit of an Mediterranean look with the way the entrance is. But let's go see what they have to show us here at the Caroline. Question, Did you see the difference? Did you notice the difference in this house? I'll leave a comment if you noticed it. Okay, time's up. Here we go. This is what this is the difference. This is one of the big differences. It's a little bit less open, you notice, right? It's a little bit more cut up, as they will say. And the reason is, look at this. You have a formal dining room. For this house is for you traditionalists there. If you want a traditional formal dining rooms because you can't do it out Thanksgiving at the big formal dining room, this is a model I would consider. You got the nice island here on well, it's got like the round, so there's plenty of seating here, which is what I like. The actual middle island, from today's perspective, is small. That's not the biggest one in the world. One thing they're mentioning here, the 3-centimeter granite and/or quartz countertops are standard. So they've raised what their standard is when it comes to their features. That's something you really need to know. Reach out to us because we have really good guidance. We work with all the builders here at Living in Palm Beach, Florida. Ray Fernandez. We are a new home co-broker. We are with EXP Luxury Homes. We work with all these builders and we know the difference between what you can get here and there and whatnot. And I will say this, one of the strong features you need to know when you're considering any of these homes is where does your standard start? So if lots on the higher end builders and the higher end communities within the builders, because every builder, even within their communities, can be different, they will start at different levels. As an example, we highlighted this a couple weeks ago. There's a builder that has 7 different floors. So here's an example of a high gloss floor. That particular builder has 7 levels. The one community starts at the level 4 as standard, and another community starts at level 3. You need to know this. So here in Riverland, their 3-centimeter quartz countertops is their standard. People are still ordering granite, but in general, I think we're seeing more and more people choose between the two. They choose the quartz. Again, in terms of seating, you have this dining area here too. So there's a lot of different areas to sit. But the difference here is if you like an open concept, this is not going to be the home for you. But if you like a place with lots of room for entertaining, different rooms, lots of seating, the Caroline might just be for you. Look at those high sliders. Again, I love those. The loggia, they decked this out for the outdoor kitchen here. So let's see how well you can see that. That's another thing on my list, on the Ray Fernandez list of things to do after closing, is that. Again, for the same reasons I mentioned of the closets. Again, and I don't want to elaborate more on that, but that's exactly what I guide most people not to do that with your options thing. And in general, when you work with builders, most builders, and if there's some that might not, and I'll help you guide you in this regard, they will guide you properly from the standpoint that they want to do the right thing by you, not just run up your tab. Most of I work with only people that lean in that direction. Anyways, as you can see, even the outside, they decorate this with a lot of upgrades and whatnot. Let's go see here in the Caroline what their master suite looks like. So this, like the last time we were just in, is a more of a traditional master suite. Not big. I mean, in general, when you're looking at 55 plus communities, they're not gigantic master suites. If you want an old age community, you can go to town. There's one I hired a couple weeks ago by another builder. In there, they have a Kestrel Grand in their model that is one of the nicest master suites. But in general, they're of the opinion when you're buying in a 55 community that you're an empty nester. You have to be, because the rules make it so that you can't have underage children here. So you're considered an empty nester, less room, less need for more room, which is why they make the homes a little bit more smaller, a little bit more compact, a little bit more quaint, to use one of their terms, when it comes to a 55 plus community here in Florida. So let me use their formal dining room here to explain a couple of things about Riverland itself. So Riverland they started here with, the builder here is GL Homes. If you see a Valencia in front of the name of a community, that is code word for this GL Homes home community. Here at Riverland, Port St. Lucie, they started with Valencia K. That was the very first community here at Riverland. The next one was the Grove. They did the Walk. They just completed the clubhouse for the Walk. It's gorgeous. I'm gonna go there. I've seen renditions of it. Haven't been there in person. I'm gonna see if I could sneak over there in a little bit. That just literally opened a couple weeks ago. In general, they're gonna build one for Park. They're selling out of the Valencia Park right now. They're gonna build one for there. They, generally speaking, once they get 50% sold and starting to build, that's when they start on the clubhouse. They are not at that point yet. But Valencia Park is number 4, and the next one is going to be, I was told today, it's going to be one of their biggest, and it's going to be, the name is Valencia. I don't know. It's that they haven't released it yet. So they keep these things under tight guard. The builder in general, they have elaborate plans. I'm sure if you go way to the top of GL Homes management, they already have an idea as to what they're calling any of this stuff. But they keep it under tight. Even myself, the people I work with, the consultants and the construction managers, they don't know. But sooner or later, we will know what that 5th community is here at Riverland, Valencia something. Why don't you name it? What do you want to call it? So I'm going to kick it up another notch. I'm going to go into their Crown collection, which is their most expensive collection. Before I do so, I just want to give you an idea of what we're looking at here with their model center, their model row. This is it. This is it for their single family homes. As I mentioned, at the end is going to be where they're building currently the villas. Again, this is Valencia at Riverland, and I find they have 25 different models here, and that includes the villas that they're currently building, and they have 16 just single families. So that number will expand as they build out the villas. So what's nice about that is a lot of the models they have, especially the more popular ones, they have on site. It's one of the things that I think is helpful. So let me elaborate on the stay and play. The reason why I'm gonna take a little seat on I'll put my stuff down on their little bench here. So one of the reasons why they offer the stay and play is they find that of the people that come and actually take advantage of it, they have a very high percent of people that actually stay here and then buy a home. I don't know what the exact percentage is. I have an idea what it is, but it's pretty high. So if you want to do that stay and play, reach out to our team. We'd love to help. We'd love to help sign you up. I think as I saw on the sign there, it's about $99. It'll give you a couple of nights here. It'll be instead of lodging. If you go to a hotel, you're not going to find it for that. You'll stay in one of their models. And the idea is that they'll take care of you in terms of giving you a sense as what it's like to live in literally the most popular community, the most popular 55 plus community in all of South Florida. Go to that other video right there, the other Riverland video, after this one, of course. I think we elaborate a little bit more on the amenities there. They have the Paseo there. They just have a lot of stuff when it comes to here. There's going to be more here, literally, than any other 55 plus community in all of Port St. Lucie. And we take people to all these different communities. When it comes to 55 plus communities, this is by far the biggest and the most elaborate from an amenities perspective. So like I said before, we're going to kick it up a notch, as I mentioned, to the Crown collection. As I say, when you move up to collection, you could smell the difference in money. But here we go. This is the Bellagio, and as you can see here, now we're looking at 3 bedrooms, can be as much as 4 bedrooms. And the house just feels a lot wider, feels a lot bigger. So let's go see what we have here at the Bellagio. it just feels bigger in here. I mean, I walk in here and it just feels like it feels like a lot wider of a house. A lot of nice features here. As I mentioned about some of the design features that they put in here, here's one of them. This is really just a closet. If you buy this house, you won't be getting a wine cellar stoned out with wine bottles in it, or not, I promise you. Let's buy it. This is just a way to give you an idea what you can do. But look at this kitchen. You can see the island is bigger. The whole kitchen is bigger. Dining area is a nice sized dining area. I love this family room. Look at the fireplace they have going here. Again, they have the flooring is nice, upgraded floors. What level they upgraded, I don't know, but they're definitely upgraded. You walk in, the ceiling's pretty high, as I think we saw when we walked in here. Nice high ceiling. It just feels like a wider footprint. And even like the sliders, they have the upgraded, floor to ceiling sliders. You could just tell it just feels wide. And look how big the backyard looks because of the extra width. Look at this. By the way, the pools, you can build a pool here. Pools don't come with the house. It's not, when we quote these prices, they're not quoting that. Prices, while we're on the subject. We kicked it up a notch to the Bellagio. Now we're looking at $762,000 for the base price of the home. This is a bigger home though too. It's 2,668 square feet. We're gonna move over to the master suite. It's more, I think it's more here in the living space that you're getting the extra room here. The master suite is like the others we just seen recently, a little bit more traditional. The only difference is, look at this. I love like the bay window look. Look at the bay window look. I love that. The bay window look for the how do you say, for the master suite. And then look at this. Oops, it's locked. I think I had it open before. Oh, it's locked. That's right. I forget. We're in GL Homes. GL Homes does not let you go outside in their models. But you do have this is showing you how you can build a little bit of area to go into the outside, which I think is nice. As you can see, a lot of these homes that we're looking at are single family homes, or ranches, as some people call it. Most people that buy 55 plus communities will prefer the ranches. They don't want to be walking upstairs till they're 100 years old, which is why. Nice double action. I want to highlight this kitchen. This kitchen's super nice. Look. As you can see, it's very white. And very white and light. Even down here, the island itself too is white and light. You got the nice quartz countertop, a pretty big island. And between this and the dining area, you do not, even though you don't have a formal dining room, you don't run out of room here. What do you think of this kitchen? I like this kitchen a lot. What do you think about the white look? I like that a lot. Later we're gonna, like as I mentioned earlier, we're gonna look at the villas. We're gonna talk about the villas. I look forward to when they show the models there, because there is extremely high demand. We had 2 releases so far in the villas. We'll talk about that in a little while, but they had 2 releases there, and they both sold very, very well. And it's primarily because the price is ridiculously affordable. Continuing here, I'm going to back into the in this Bellagio. The office is actually not. Look at this. So it's not as you walk in the front door. That's unusual. I love this office, to be honest with you. It looks rather nice. It's a little bit bigger than, especially for a 55 plus, than some. Your bathroom is right off there. And then we're coming down this way. And you get a nice secondary ensuite bedroom. I get a lot of people who are very particular about the size of the of the secondary rooms. That's important to a lot of people, and I sort of get it, to be honest with you. I think that's a pretty generous. If you're into the size, if that's an important factor, you're gonna, the Crown's collection is probably where you're gonna land. Here's another one of these funky fireplaces. Check this out. Nice family room here at the Bellagio in the Crown collection here at Riverland in Port St. Lucie, Florida. So Ray, I know that the 55 plus communities are smaller, but I want a big house. Just because I'm older doesn't mean I want to settle on smaller. Well, if that's you, I've got one for you. Welcome to the Trivoli, the biggest home here in Riverland in Port St. Lucie. If you lean towards wanting more space, this is a great home. 3 bedrooms, go up to 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms. Total of 3,436 square feet. This is in the biggest collection, which is the Crown collection. This is the biggest home in the Crown collection. Well, there's some I have a quick delivery home to tell you about also. That is this model. So more on that later. What I like about what they do here is they have a lot of selection in terms of the to-be-built and quick delivery homes. But for right now, let's go see the Trivoli in the Crown collection here in Riverland. This is a big home. This is my favorite home in Riverland. I really love this home. So let's go right to pricing. $847,000. That's your base price of your home. I know I teased the lots. I want to give you an idea of the lot prices. In the villas, you can actually get a lot price for $0. I'm going to show you the villas later, but you can get a lot price. A lot price in the villas can start at $0. If you're looking at any of these other collections for single family, you can get them as low as $6,000. And the prices here on the lots are very affordable. $6,000, and the highest one I looked with my consultant that I use often here, they go up to $80,000. So the lots here are pretty good. So even on the nicest lot here today in Riverland, the most you're going to pay is about $80,000 for the lot of land. In addition, of course, to the base price, like you have here, of $847,000 here at Trivoli. So here's a couple of features I really like. This is like the pantry. It's locked. Look at this. They have a big walk-in pantry. They obviously show it with the window. If you keep a messy pantry, do not get it with the window. It's not what I would recommend. I mentioned the entrance is exquisite, nice, high and long, which is why it attracts to me. This office area to the side is the biggest that you have here. It's gigantic for a 55 plus community. Let's see if I can get the handle on this. So yeah, I mean, you could probably make this a bedroom if you want, which is why you can see like a lot of the floor plans they talk about flexibility. I would say if you make it a game room for the kids, but there's no kids allowed when you're in a 55 plus community. But you can make it a second living space too, or actually a third, because there's an extra living space back there I got to show you, which is tremendous. Moving to that living space, they have a dining room here, and here's that extra space. You can go outside here. That's another way to do it. But here's that extra space, which again, you can convert this to a bedroom, sure, of course. But this is made like they made it into like a casino room or a card. I don't know. For some people, this might be too Vegas or it's a little bit too gaudy. But this room gets, as you could probably tell, it gets a lot of light. I love it. You have a window here. You have big windows along probably really the whole back. You have another window here. If you had this home on a western exposure, it might be, to be honest with you, it might be a little bit overpowering. We'll help you with that. Living in Palm Beach, Florida, we are a relocation company. We help people relocate to this part of the world, even from other parts of Florida. But we'll help you with the lots. There are some lots that are one of the reasons for the pricing difference is the exposure, which way the backyard is facing. We'll help you. Like, do you know if you have a pool, which is, I'll give you a chance to answer. If you have a pool, which is the exposure or the way the backyard's facing, which is the one you want to avoid? Go ahead, give me an answer. If you said north, you would be correct. The reason I say that here in the southern part of the United States, the north gets not that much sun. So if you want to have your pool with a little bit of sun hitting it, then you don't want to do that. East, obviously, you get the sunrise. West, you get the intense heat. We get a lot of people here that say, I want a western exposure. They get it, and they say to me, Ray, you were right. It's a little bit overpowering. I get a lot of people, which is the one I have, is a south exposure, because you get sun pretty much all day. It's not direct, but you get sun all day. So I think ideally, if you can get like a south-southwest or a southwest-west, that would be great. But anyways, we can help you with that. So once again, they have a sign here advertising their stay and play. The other reason why this is important, because the amenities here are so much. If you want to do like a cooking class or something like that, or see what that's all about, this is there's no way to really look at it. So when we are with you on your first visit, we will be working with the consultant, and she's going to take us to all these amenities. They have paseo, which is like a golf cart trail throughout all the communities. So if you live in Valencia Park and you want to visit your friend in Valencia Lake, let's say, you can hop on your golf cart and go right. Don't even have to leave the community. Just hop on your golf cart and go right to their community. There is a gate there to get in, so you can't just do it nilly-willy. But you can really just take it from community to community. They give you a code, you get in, you're allowed in with your golf cart, and that's sort of the way to do it. But the best way to get to really understand this, especially if you're out of town, take advantage of his stay and play. Don't do it on your own. If you do it on your own, they're going to assign you to a consultant. I'll still be able to help you. So if you've done that already, we're still okay to help you out. But they will assign you to a consultant. Once I get to know you, I would like to figure out which consultant I feel you'd feel most comfortable with. You know, there are people from different parts of the country, have different needs, or act differently. We can help you. I've worked with practically every consultant here at Riverland here in Port St. Lucie, Florida. Let's go see what the biggest home here at Riverland, what their master suite looks like. Whoa, I'm backing into it. So it's got a little bit of more of more of an elegant entrance compared to those traditional ones. I still like that Bimini one. That Bimini one's like my favorite. Yeah, this is bigger. I don't know how well you can appreciate it from video, but this is a bigger master bedroom. Nice big light. Again, the sun is really intense here because I think we're looking west here. Decked out closet. Let's look at the other one. Decked out closet. Oh, look at this. They have in the bathroom, they have a tub. So you can get a lot of options here. This master suite compared to the others is definitely big, and it's not overpowering it at the same time, but I really love this model. The Trivoli here in the Crown Collection of Riverland. So let me go over some of the numbers here. I should have teased this number, because the numbers are important. I'm glad if you stuck around to this end, you're smart. That means you really like this community and you're a smart person. Congratulate yourself for that. But also, like I do in a lot of my videos, I wait till the end to tell you a little bit about some of the numbers. The most important number is CDD. I like to think that we helped people know or figure out or learn about what's involved with a CDD fee. A CDD fee is a fee that the builder will charge you when you buy into their community. It's especially prevalent in new construction communities, especially prevalent in communities where the builder had to clear all the land and put in all this infrastructure. I've seen CDD fees in one community in Palm Beach Gardens as high as $5,000 a year. The CDD fee for this community is zero. Yes, you heard it right. It is zero. There is no CDD fee. When you see a CDD fee of zero, hang on one second, it is because the builders actually paid for it. So you get a benefit right off the bat. Um, when you're looking at, let me go through my cheat sheet here. When you're looking at the HOA fee, it's roughly in Valencia Park, which is where they're selling the single family homes from right now. It's approximately $400 a month. The new villas that we're going to talk about in very shortly now, it's actually a little bit more. It's $552 per month. And here's the reason why the smaller homes, the villas, have a higher HOA fee. The HOA fee includes everything you get with a single family home when it comes to the villas. The difference is they also add roof and wall maintenance. They have a wall that goes in between the different units, and they maintain it. The roof, they even do roof replacement. So if you live till 130, you need to replace your roof, they will replace it. So they have some extra benefits. They paint. They also do painting for you. So there's some extra benefits with the HOA fee, which is why it's a little bit over $550 today. It will go up. They go up every year, these HOA fees. I mean, I'm an HOA president in my community. There's a reason why, and it is truly fair. It goes up with inflation. As years go by, the cost of everything goes up. Cost of labor, the cost of electricity, all goes up. And if your community is being managed well, your HOA fee will go up with the price of inflation. Speaking of HOA fees, the way they work with the builders in the initial stages is the builder is on the HOA. They're part of the HOA. Once a community is about 90% sold, then you have the opportunity to run for a board selection within the HOA, and you can actually control and help form the infrastructure when it comes to your new construction community. So a little bit more on the math. So here are a couple of sheets. One is for the two different communities. Yeah, one's Valencia Walk and one is Valencia Grove, two different Riverland communities where we have some spec homes, which is quick delivery homes. These are homes that they just started building, knowing that buyers will eventually come to them, and they pick the options. They put it on the land that they see fit, and you could buy them. Some of these are a delivery like right now. Like if you want to be in Riverland now here in the next 30 days, I can help you do that. They have some immediate homes. They have some going all the way out till, I see some Aprils, I see some Mays, I see some July, so I see some June. So if you want to be in here ahead of the summer or at the end of the summer, there's all different choices. This is the kind of community I like from, I call it duration. From a duration standpoint, this is the best because you can build from scratch and pick all your features and all that, and it'll take long. It'll take about a year. A to-be-built home will take about a year. But if you want to be in sooner, we have these. As I was getting ready to film, I ran into one of the new home consultants that we're working on, a buyer that bought a couple months ago, is looking to come in. They were talking about possibly changing lots. Why? Because they're anxious to get down here. And the consultant basically said, be patient, because if you change lots right now, we're looking at another year. So when you're looking at the end of 2024, which is when we're filming this, and you want to buy something today, you're not going to be able to move into 2026. So that's a big difference. So when you're doing a to-be-built, it's about a year. But we have, like I said, my favorite communities to work in are the ones where you have options. And it's one of the questions, when we get on that Zoom, actually, that's one of the best ways for us to connect. Pick that phone call or through a Zoom. The people who are best able to help are the ones that have the best preparation. When we book that Zoom or that phone call, one of my first questions is, what's your time frame? And that's going to sort of drive everything we do in terms of getting you the best home for you here in Florida. All right, the moment you've been waiting for. This is like the hottest section today, probably because of the price. The price is, where else can you get a new construction home in South Florida, beginning with the number 3? Pretty much nowhere except for here in the luxury, they call them the luxury club villas. They have 4 models here. They have the Aurica, they have the Bismarck, which I hear is very popular, the Sable, and the Royal. They just literally opened these. They start selling these. As you could probably see here, these are the models they're working on. Look at this. They're probably a month away from those models being opened. They're going to be, by the time that you see this video, they're probably either going to have opened or they have just opened. The demand is really high. They did 2 releases so far, and the first one they just about sold out. They did another after they sold that. A week later, they did another release of a close to a like amount, and then they started selling those. So I think that's going to probably be the end of their releases when it comes to that. But once again, let's take a look. They're big. I mean, they're big for what they are. The smallest one is 1,293 square feet. They are basically 4, 5s, and 6s. So those they're going to be paired with 4 homes, 5 homes, and 6 homes. The Aurica is the smallest at 1,293. The largest is the Royal, which is 1,889 square feet. It is a 2-story home. The Aurica and the Royal, oh no, I'm sorry, I think it's the Bismarck and the Royal are the same homes. The only thing is the Royal has a 2nd floor. The floor plan of the smaller home is exactly the same. So when it comes to those homes, the Bismarck is always on the end. So if you want an end home, you're going to be looking at the Bismarck, which is why it's really popular. The Aurica and the Royal are the same home on the 1st floor. The Royal has the 2nd story. That's the difference with that. What else can I say about them? Oh, lots. You can buy a lot premium in there for 0. So they start at $328,000. That's the Aurica. So if you do no upgrades and you do no lot premium, you can get in there for literally, let's do the math, $328,000. So they go up to the Royal. The Royal's like $410,000. So realistically, now, as you know, as I say before all the time, here living in Palm Beach, we live in Realville. You're looking at more like $400,000 when looking at that lots and realistically speaking. The other thing, some other insight I got on this visit here. So the next phase 5, the fifth section of Valencia hasn't been announced yet, but I have some guidance on the amount of homes. It is going to be the biggest. It's going to be probably near 2,000 homes. So there's a lot. There's a lot there. I mentioned the HOA. Oh, the kind of buyers buying in these luxury condo villas. They are a lot of condo buyers. So if you're stuck in a condo that is not doing anything for you, that is a great alternative. They're finding that a lot of condo buyers are buying that. Snowbirds. Perfect home for snowbirds. If you want a second home and make Florida your second home to come down here in the wintertime, we're basically at the verge of winter right now. I mean, it's like 65 degrees here. There's no humidity. This is the best place in the world, literally, for winter. If you want a snowbird here in Florida at a very reasonable price, a very affordable price, that's where I would go. So there's so much. It's not a surprise, especially because of the price. It's not a surprise that demand for those villas are off the charts high. So one other thing about the villas is so how many bedrooms? They're basically 2 bedrooms. You might be able to do like the Royal a little bit more. The Royal is going to be more room for sure, but anyways, to get into a community like Riverland, you cannot beat those prices. So here we are in Valencia Walks Clubhouse. It just completed a couple of weeks ago. Been long anticipating it, the opening of this. The K opened their clubhouse and the Grove opened their clubhouse. And now Valencia Walk finally opened their clubhouse. And you know what? This is the best one yet. Port St. Lucie, Riverland, Paradise here in South Florida.